Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic today. Today I am on my way, and I hope that you will take a few moments and ride with me and explore Jacksonville with me. My first two stops of the day are going to be Nordstrom and Louis Vuitton. So I'm going to tell you a couple of stories. First of all, you guys know I love FitFlops. If you haven't taken a moment to look for them, please do, because they're fantastic. And I learned that FitFlops actually have sneaker style, boat style shoes. I recently got a couple of them during the anniversary sale. And while I love them, they're just a smidge too small, so I'm going to trade them in for something a little bit larger, hopefully the same exact shoe. The next thing that I am returning is the Ted Baker handbag, and I'm doing that because I really love her. I put her in my room, and I have about 3 other bags that are similar in shape, similar in color, and well, that's frankly just silly. So she's got to go back. As much as I love her and I would love to keep her, she's just too similar, and I am trying my best to live, well, a little less on the purse side. So I don't mind purchasing a purse if it's something I'm going to be using on a regular basis. But this year I have really gone too far, and I have handbags that I've purchased and they've been sitting in my closet, and I haven't even worn them, and that's just craziness, absolute craziness. So there you have it. That's what I'm doing at Nordstrom. Now, having said that, I know that I'm going to get over there, and I've been looking at a perfume called Patchouli, and it's made by Tom Ford. The one that I normally wear from Tom Ford is Blanc Soleil, and I can tell you that every time I wear it, people lose their minds. They really, I always get compliments on it, and I'm finding that out of all the perfumes that I have, it's really the one that I'm kind of blowing through, and it's of course the one that I spent the most money on, but I love it. And I happened to get a sample of Patchouli. Well, I think what happened was I was down in Key West, and I was at one of those perfume shops, and they were trying to, actually I was passing one of those shops, they were trying to, you know how they try to hard sell you. I said, do you have any Tom Ford? Really expecting that they would not have, and they had this Patchouli. And so I sniffed it and went, oh my goodness, it's wonderful. Now, for those of you who may or may not know what Patchouli is, it's an interesting fragrance, and you either love it or you really hate it. So I know there will be some comments that go, ew, why? And there will be some that go, that's awesome, and that's really okay. When I first moved to Rochester, New York, I had never heard of Patchouli before. My first smell, I wasn't an excited person about it, but then, you know, it kind of grew on me to the point now I miss that scent in the air. I miss the smell of Patchouli. So I was like, well, I'm going to think about it, and I typically don't like to buy from those places. I do feel like the perfume is somehow a little bit different there. So I waited it out. I took a look at the other places that had it on sale, and you know, it was within $20 of other places selling the same thing. So I thought, well, I'll wait. I came back to Jacksonville and took a look at Belk, and they had one, and I sniffed and went, oh gosh, that's so wonderful. Let me just think about it. When it comes to Tom Ford, it's not one of those things that I buy immediately because it is kind of pricey. I like to save up a little bit for it. And currently what I'm doing is I'm trying my best to carry cash, and as I pay for something and then I get my change, if it's just like hard change, I've been putting it away in hopes of saving up and buying something really cool. So it may be that it's something like that. I don't know. But here's what I discovered. Long story short, I went to Nordstrom, and I was speaking with one of my favorite ladies there. We were talking about different perfumes and makeups that we love, and she is at the Dior counter, And I said, you know, I really love Tom Ford and I really love patchouli, and I've been thinking about it. She goes, oh, let's go sniff it. I happen to love that one too. So we went over there to sniff it. I discovered the one that I had been sniffing in Key West and in Belk. There's nothing wrong with it, but it is not as pungent. Maybe that's not a good word for it. It is not as sweet smelling, strong smelling as the one that they had at Nordstrom. So Nordstrom has the white bottle of patchouli, and then they have this signature series, which is phenomenal. I mean phenomenal. And of course it's $100 more, but I have to tell you that I had sprayed both, and I took them home. Like I have the little cards, and I took them home, and I actually forgot about it. I went back a week later and found other scents that were in there. Now those scents had long gone, because I was sniffing back through them going, oh gosh, I don't even know what that was like. And by the way, I had sprayed a Dior spray and it was long gone. And then the Tom Ford that was in the white bottle was the patchouli that was in the white bottle was, you could barely smell it, but it was still there. I will give it that. But the one that was in the punchy bottle was still going strong on that piece of paper after that amount of time. I was so impressed by that. I thought, wow, I need to give that a second look. So I'm returning a handbag, I'm returning a couple of shoes. I hope to exchange the shoes, but if I can't, I mean, my card is paid up, so this might be the time that I pick up some patchouli. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Now, let's talk about why I'm going to Louis Vuitton. I haven't done the reveal on this yet. As a matter of fact, I didn't even do the video yet. So I was kind of disappointed. I did do a posting on Louis Vuitton Addicted by Seller Chat, and I simply asked a question: do I return this or not? And I will tell you the votes were very split. In a few moments, or maybe right in the next video, because I'm going long, so I have a feeling this is going to be part 1 and part 2. I was so excited, and I opened this particular bag, and the stitching on it, so this has, you know, like the vachetta that comes around it, and it's damier ebene, so it's, you know, it's the treated, and where it comes around to protect the outside of the canvas, so you know it's a canvas bag, the stitching along of it, it kind of goes straight, then it dips down, then it comes up, and it goes like that. Now, I don't know, it might not bother some people, and it certainly didn't on some people in the page. Some people are like, I don't even know what I'm looking for. But I have to tell you, in my very early years, you know, those, like your first job that you ever have, it was at a sewing factory. That was my first job. I worked in a sweatshop. That's the first thing I did in life. So trust me when I say I have paid my dues along the way. So one thing, though, that I learned at that sewing factory was if I was sewing and my stitch got offline, I mean, I had to stop and rip it out and start all over. And you know, we were all trained to look for that. And I have to tell you, even in something as simple as I was just making uniforms for people. So in doing that, I learned to look for stitching. And it was the first thing that I saw when I pulled the bag out. I have to tell you very honestly, if I saw that on a pair of pants, a shirt, even if I were, because I can still sew today, I have that sewing machine. I still love doing that kind of thing as a relaxing craft, I guess. You know, if I sewed something like that and the stitch did not go straight down, I would pull that puppy out and I would start again. So I don't understand why this individual working for Louis Vuitton didn't catch that stitch, because you should be doing it and you kind of know when your stitch has slipped. And even if you were going really fast and you didn't catch it, that quality person should have looked at that and they should have said, wow, this will never go for a bag that's over X amount, right? And I gotta tell you, anything at Louis Vuitton, your stitch should really be straight. It looks like, you know, back in the early days, it was one of those ways to tell that you had a fake bag, that you had a replica. So I'm very disappointed. There's no way that I'm going to keep it. I know that I am OCD, and by saying that, I do mean actually medically diagnosed as a person who has obsessive compulsive disorders. And I will talk about that if you would like in another video, if you want to know some things about that and what that really means for an individual and how you function in life with no medication. I would be happy to talk about that, so let me know below if you are interested, and I'll do that for you. But in the meantime, what that means is we probably do pay a little bit more attention to the smaller details on certain things. I have to tell you that with OCD, triggers are different for everybody. So it may bother someone who has OCD, and it may not bother anybody who has a different kind of OCD. It just is what it is, right? I always recommend, if I'm talking to someone, by the way, and you happen to be someone with OCD, I'm going to recommend that you always push yourself. And that was one of the main reasons why I posted on Louis Vuitton Addicted by Sell and Chat, because I firmly believe in pushing yourself. If enough people had said, you know, that's really not a big deal and I wouldn't have worried about it, I would have pushed myself to have kept the bag, simply because that would have told me that it was an issue for me as an OCD person, but as a regular person it's not. What didn't seem to be the case. A lot of people were like, oh no, that would make me crazy. Now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. So I'm on my way to take it back. I'm really hoping that they have this particular bag in stock. We'll see. And I think that's really all I've got to say. I'm on the highway now, so I want to make sure that I'm very careful to pay attention to the roads and laws and other people around me. I want myself to be safe as well as those around me. So I will talk to you again as soon as I get back to the town center. And because it's almost 12 minutes, we're going to go ahead and do a part 1 and a part 2 on it. So I love you guys. If you enjoyed this video, just this little chat, I guess, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, man, that's all right. I really, be true to yourself and give it a thumbs down. If you haven't before, if this is the first time looking at this channel, you're like, what is this lady going on about? I love to talk about luxury goods and life things. So if you enjoyed this at all and you think you want to hear a little bit more from me, please take a moment to click that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I do videos, go ahead and click that little bell that you see, and that's going to let you know every time I get a video. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Mwah. Bye.